I can already tell that if anyone does end up seeing this video, that people are going to be upset about this video. And you know what? That's the risk that you run when you talk about anything that's popular, be it an anime, a movie, a game, whatever. Today we're going to talk about My Hero Academia, more specifically, what happened that made me fall out of love with it. If you've been on the channel for a decent enough amount of time, then you might know that 5 years ago, I did like a 40-minute mega review of the first 4 seasons. And at the end of that video, my general impression was that it was a pretty good show. I liked it a lot. I then did another video talking about all the quirks in Class 1A, and another one talking about how cool I thought Endeavor was. And by the time Season 5 was over, it had become my favorite new gen. And at the time, you could consider it a new gen. Now it's you know, the manga's over 10 years old. It's hardly new anymore. But it had the potential, as I was reading it, because I, got tired of waiting and being spoiled and everything, to become one of my favorites of all time. It could take its place among the ranks of, Erased and Mob Psycho 100 and Haikyuu. But as time went on, the gripes that I had in earlier parts of the show kind of reared their ugly head again. I'll strictly be talking about the anime here because I did not finish the manga, and I'm not going to talk about the ending of the story when I don't know it. But from seasons 1 up until like the first 5 or 6 episodes of season 7 is what we'll be talking about here. So that's where I quit watching. Something that I said way back then in 2020 when I first got caught up is that I don't appreciate that the show has to keep leaving the campus in order for things to happen, because with a show that takes place in a school where they're learning how to be superheroes, if they're going to encounter villains, then it means one of two things is happening. They're leaving school to fight the villains, or the villains are just getting into the school that's supposed to be secure. And you either have a really repetitive story structure that way, kind of like Bleach, or you just have to wonder how the hell this is even possible, and there must be a spy. Well, in season 3, you find out that there is a spy, or that there is suspicion, rather, that there is a spy. The problem is, that plot point does not come back up again until the very end of season 4, when Aoyama starts sprinkling little breadcrumbs that let you know that he's weird outside of just having a quirk that seems to hurt him. And real quick, I want to toss a segment over to the sponsor of this video, which is my Patreon. I'll be back in just a second. Pardon the interruption, it's your boy Toxic Boyo, and I wanted to take a brief moment to let you know about the Toxic Touch Productions Patreon. I'm not currently monetized on YouTube, but I still want to bring you the best content that I possibly can. I want to make those videos that you love, and I want them to be the best that they can be. But I need a little help. That's where you guys come in. If you want to support me directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/ToxicTouchProductions, or click the link in the description or in the pinned comment. For even just $5 a month, you can get your name included in the credits at the end of the video, gain access to exclusive channels on the Discord, and you get specialized merch at no extra cost. It only gets better as the tiers go higher. Go check it out. Thanks for listening, and thanks for supporting my dreams. Now let's get back to the video. Now that we're back, let's continue. And then it's just like, oh yeah, my quirk was given to me the same way that yours was to you, whatever. And then you don't find out until season 7 that he was, in fact, the spy the entire time. But the problem is that, like, it's not this overarching plot thread, this thing that they, like, dangle and sprinkle into the story. It's just like, it comes up 3 times. And on the 3rd time is when you find out who it is. But that takes, what did season 3 come out in 2017 or 2018? It takes 6 years to find out, It's just really weird to have it set up that way. And I am someone that's also felt like the show lacked stakes for entirely too long. I plan on doing a whole video about how I thought that All Might should die, and I probably will still do that. The Cliff's Notes version is that All Might has almost nothing to add or offer to the story post defeating All for One. He has no power, he can't fight, and he can hardly even teach Midoriya anything about One For All, because Midoriya was quirkless when he got it. And it seems like that is the reason that he's able to access all the previous quirks within One For All that All Might was not able to access. Which leads me to believe that he was not quirkless when he got it, despite the show trying really hard to tell you that he was. But All Might can't teach Deku anything. Gran Torino is the one that gets him to start thinking about using One For All across his whole body, and that's where full Cowling comes from. He comes up with shoot style pretty much all on his own. I don't think All Might teaches him that either. I think he's pretty impressed when Deku mentions it to him. He can't teach him how to control Black Whip or anything like that. But you know who does teach him how to control Black Whip? Endeavor. You know what Endeavor's powers are? He shoots fire. The fact that Endeavor was able to teach Deku how to control and use Black Whip when All Might couldn't even process what he was seeing means that he well and truly was useless as a character. In a perfect world, he would have died fighting All For One. It would have shown you that things were serious. The "it's your turn" would have really meant something, but even more than that, he's like Obi-Wan in that he can die and not leave the story. Deku would still be able to talk to All Might if he did die, because his soul would then reside within One For All, and he could still talk to him. But it would have meant something, would have had more punch, and it would have helped Bakugo's story even more, because he was so guilty about ridding the world of All Might, you know, because All Might burnt out all of his powers trying to defend Bakugo. But if he had died, imagine the guilt that Bakugo would have felt, and where that could have gone. But instead, we get like a very brief little moment of him developing as a character, and then he's right back to how he used to be up until season 6. Another thing that I have felt about this show for a long time is that it doesn't commit to anything for any particular amount of time. It's this weird... How do I even describe? For example, when Deku left UA to pretty much protect all of his friends, and he told everybody the truth about One For All and everything, and he became a vigilante, I remember hearing that that arc was going to be crazy when it made it to the anime, and I did go forward and read that, but the manga, again, is not the point. When it finally did get animated, it lasted, what, 3, maybe 4 episodes? How come the villains fighting each other for power lasts half a season? How come a sparring match between classes 1A and 1B lasts for almost half a season? How come Deku training with Endeavor lasts for like 4 or 5 episodes, but him leaving the school and trying to protect everybody all on his own, and the entire world finding out the truth about One For All, how come that particular arc only lasts a little bit? Why do we spend all this time on all these things that don't matter? Todoroki and Bakugo were in remedial hero classes for longer than Deku was a vigilante. It's like there's almost an opportunity for growth here. There's almost the potential for this really interesting story arc where Deku becomes disenfranchised with the current hero structure. Maybe he turns bitter because for all that he's given and all that he's done to protect people, they still resent him because of something that's beyond his control, something that's All Might's fault, but they're blaming Deku for it. What if he became an anti-hero? What if he completely went rogue? What if he killed Shigaraki not because he had to, but because he wanted to? It wouldn't necessarily make him any different than Luffy or Ichigo or Naruto. Naruto's wanted to kill people. He hasn't, but he's wanted to do it, right? You could still have him be a good guy and do something less than perfectly ethical. It's like they want Deku to be the squeaky clean character, even though the story is pushing him in a direction where he should do something unsavory. it won't let him grow in an organic way because he has to stay in this relative mold the whole time. He's mostly the same character at the beginning of season 1 that he is at the beginning of season 7. He's just got more scars. And the scars are there to, like, be a visual storytelling element to show how much he's grown and how much he's learned and how far he's come, but it falls flat because it's not really reflected in any of his actions. Yeah, he can use more powers. Yes, he's a better fighter. Yes, he's stronger. But it doesn't matter. Because externally, or internally rather, he's still the exact same. Even Naruto has measurable change, quantifiable change. Goku, same thing. Ichigo, same thing. I can't really speak on Luffy because I don't know. Even Eren Yeager, you know? But Deku, they're just so afraid to let him change or grow in any significant way. And the same thing goes for most of Class 1A, if we're being honest, because there are really just too many central characters. And then, when another one of them does get the spotlight, it's really just to highlight their relationship with Deku. It's hard for these side characters to stand on their own. Ida fell out of the spotlight in season 3, and so it just became Deku, Bakugo, and Todoroki, but even Todoroki's character stands still for so long. It's just, I don't know, it's difficult to latch on anything in particular to see as real growth other than he's learned to forgive his father, which was his main thing, but like, what's driving him currently in season 7? Oh, you know what? I will give you that he's fighting his brother now. So we get something for his character in season 5 and in season 7. All the way up to that point, though, it's in very, very tiny increments because there's just no time. But going back a little bit to what I said earlier about there not being enough stakes, I know that characters do start to drop like flies around the time that like after, I would say, the villain war. But up until that point, who died? You know, Sir Night-Eye. Oh, man. Can't believe it. And, you know, Lemillion lost his powers, but then he got them back. Crust died. You know, Midnight died. Oh, you know, the faculty member who gets turned on by the teenage students is dead. What a shame. You know. And then, I don't know, it's just difficult for me because the show is so easy to compare to Naruto. And right from the beginning, Zabuza and Haku die. And obviously they're not good guys, they're not heroes. But Haku was not bad. And you even learn to be able to sympathize with Zabuza, and the way that they die reflects the world that show takes place in. Granted, the world of My Hero is a lot brighter towards the beginning than Naruto is. But it doesn't stay that way. I just wish that... Like I said, I wish that All Might died. I wish that maybe Eraserhead or Present Mike died. Or, I don't know, something. Just something that shocks these kids because they are fighting to save the entire world at 16 years old. They are effectively child soldiers the same way that Haku was way back at the beginning of Naruto. But it doesn't reflect that. And anytime we came close, they fake killed Bakugo twice. And he's still alive. Kill Bakugo. Let that be something that informs Deku's character. Let that be something that changes Deku's character, alters him for the entire rest of the story. If the closest thing that he ever had to a best friend died. But no. It's frustrating. What I think it really comes down to is that the show tries so hard to convince you that it is getting more mature, that it is getting darker, that it is hardening around the edges. But then it doesn't back that up with its actions. The things that take place in the show do not match what it's trying to tell you. Even Lady Nagant doesn't fucking die when All for One blows her up. She gets to come back. We take these characters, we put them on the back burner, we completely stop talking about them until there's an opportunity for them to have a mic drop moment. They come back, and it's like, hey, remember me from 31 episodes ago? I'm back. Oh, but what about Star and Stripe? You saw the episode where she died. Oh great, a character that was only introduced for the sake of nerfing Shigaraki got killed. Awesome. A character that's in precisely 2 episodes died. That's not what I mean. I want a character that means something to the story and that has a tangible impact on the world of My Hero to bite the dust. It could have been Hawks in Season 6. I don't know why he lived. I don't know why Best Jeanist lived. Not that his death would have really meant anything, but what do you mean he lost like half his organs and he survived? And he's able to continue doing hero work at the same level that he used to be. Oh, but Edgeshot died trying to save Bakugo because he turned into a long-ass thread? I just don't buy it. It's just... And I know that, like, if you're a diehard My Hero fan and you're watching this video, you're going to be like, well, you're just bitching and moaning about nothing, whatever. I can already tell what the comments are going to be, provided that there even are any. But I don't care. I don't care. Because I used to love this show. Seasons 2 and 3, I thought were amazing. Season 4, I thought ended really strongly. Season 5, I thought was great. Season 6, I thought was really freaking cool. And then something happens in Season 7 that just had pulled me completely out of it. I don't even know how that's possible. It's not even that it doesn't live up to expectations, it's that it just falls so short of what it can be and what it's trying to be at every possible turn that it makes you wish that it was written by somebody else. You know? I don't know. I don't know how good of a job I've done getting across my feelings about this show. Like I said, you know, like lack of stakes, refusing to commit to anything, characters that only ever change incrementally or not at all because there's such a sheer huge number of characters. Like, I've seen the hero rankings at the end of the show. I'm very happy that or not at the end of the show, at the end of the manga. I'm very happy that Mirio's #1. I'm super stoked about that. And, you know, Sun Eater and Hado are ranked, and everybody in Class 1A is ranked. What about 1B? What about Tetsu and Kendo and Jesus Christ, whoever else is in that class? They have a whole arc dedicated to them, and I can't remember hardly anybody's names. Where are they ranked? I don't know, it's just... I guess what I'm trying to say is, the point of this is not to say that My Hero Academia is a bad show. It's not an attack on you if you like My Hero. It's not meant to insult you or your character. I don't care what you like. If you love this show, I'm happy for you. I'm happy that you have a show that you love. I just wanted more, I suppose. And at a certain point, I just had to come to accept that the story was not for me. I missed maybe 17 or 18 episodes of Season 7. The final season comes out sometime this year, and I have no interest. I haven't watched the 4th movie. I just don't love My Hero anymore, and that's a shame. But hey, I've still yet to watch JJK Season 2. There's still plenty of new gen stuff that I can check out. Haven't watched any Black Clover. So if you've made it here, and you have a new gen anime that you think I should watch, please recommend it recommend me anything, honestly. Except for Isekai. That I don't touch. But anything that you think I might watch that could, like, make up for what I felt like My Hero was lacking, or something that just might give me some sort of sense of completion, then if you have anything in mind, please let me know. And I will check it out, and maybe we'll talk about it here on the channel. Otherwise, Let me know who your favorite My Hero character is. For me, my favorite pro hero is Endeavor, and my favorite student character is Mirio. So if you want to have a conversation about that, I'm more than happy to. If you made it this far, I greatly appreciate you. And hopefully my next anime-related video won't be so negative. Anyway, I'll see you next time.